Hey guys, Brad Speed here. CRF250L front disc cover. Now I would have loved to have bought an Acerbis one, but they don't make one for the 250L, which is really annoying. They can get these copycat ones from AliExpress or eBay. I bought this one first, and it's wrong because the internal diameter was the wrong size. The CRF250L is a 17mm and this is like a 15. So I went and bought another one. That's this one here, and I have a totally different problem with this one. This is it here, obviously. Now I've got the spacer component here attached to the bracket. Now the issue is this spacer just free spins in the bracket, and there's no real way to stop it. Now the issue with this is when it's bolted to the bike, because the spacer can free spin, even though it's bolted in and doesn't move, the rest of the bracket spins on the spacer, and the whole disc guard just rattles around like that. And it also has a bit of side-to-side movement too, which is just not right. It's really annoying. Now, because it's just a cheap AliExpress copycat Acerbis kit, there's obviously no instructions. So I went and looked at the actual Acerbis fitting and watched a couple of videos on it. And the Acerbis one, the spacer is fixed to the rest of the bracket. It can't spin. So there's just a manufacturing issue. So basically, what I'm going to have to do to make this work is stop this spacer from being able to free spin inside the bracket. So I actually have an aluminium welder at work. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to try an aluminium, like just weld these together so it can't free spin. I think that will totally solve the issue, because other than that one thing, it actually fits up really nice. And it looks sick too. So if I can get that to work, seize this up, then it'll be fine. I have the one that doesn't fit here as well. So I'm going to do some test welds with this one. Just to get the settings on the welder right, because aluminium welding can be pretty finicky at the best of times. So I'll test weld that. If I get it good, then I'll move on to this one, and hopefully it all works okay. Now, regardless of the fact that it'll be on the inside, I think it will still look a bit crap, because I'll have to wire brush off a lot of the anodizing, depending on how bad it looks. My plan is to sandblast the bracket, and I have a sandblaster upstairs. So I'll sandblast it, and I'll use this aluminium black on the bracket. Makes like a chemical reaction. It's used on guns, actually. I'm hoping that I can get away with just sort of wire brushing off enough that it, it's not too noticeable, but I still get a good weld, because it'll be on the inside, so it won't be mega noticeable. Anyway, enough talking about it. Let's jump in the car. I'll head over to work, see if I can weld this thing up, and see if it works. Okie dokie, a couple of little tacks, I'll grind it down, and that actually worked quite well. I think that's going anywhere. Okie dokie, I'm back home. I cleaned those tacks up. I nicked some of the spokes in a couple of spots when I was cleaning it up, so I just thought I'll strip the anodizing off the whole back. That way I can put aluminium black on all of it, and it at least somewhat matches. I could probably just leave it like this, but I'm a little bit pedantic, I guess. That's really the only bit that you see, so that looks fine, and then this will just all be black. If you're asking, this looks a bit odd, why don't you just do a continuous weld around the whole thing? A couple of reasons. A, totally unnecessary. This is well and truly enough to stop that from spinning. And B, aluminium and heat don't go well together. So the more heat you put into aluminium, the more it tends to lose strength and increases the likelihood of things like stress fractures and cracks. With aluminium MIG welding, it can be quite difficult to control the heat. If I was TIG welding this, it's a totally different story, but I wasn't. I was MIG welding it. So not necessary to do a full weld around the whole thing. Okay, this aluminium black's pretty cool stuff. Literally, someone a rag and just wipe it. You can see it's going black already. It's just like a chemical reaction. So you do have to get a little bit on there, and you sort of do it in coats and layers to try and get it relatively even. Okay, well and truly black now. This absolutely stinks, this stuff. The chemical reaction creates, I don't know, like sulfur or something. It stinks. Anyway, I didn't buy it for the smell. So that's pretty good now. Okay, all good to go. It's not perfect, but it looks all right. I think that looks pretty good. It's just started pretty heavily raining here, so I apologise for the probably pretty rubbish audio, but I'm quite happy with that. And the best part is, after all that, it's solid as it's the way it should be. I couldn't turn that even if I wanted to. As a functional part as well, I'm quite happy with it. See, it actually covers the disc. I may even get my heat gun at work and sort of warp this over a little bit so it fully covers the disc, but I think I'm being probably overly pedantic now. Oh, it's a bit dark and rainy out here, but that's a better view, I think. I'm quite happy with that. Definitely looks sort of more racy and aggressive. Now, my next plan of attack, my understanding is all of the Acerbis front disc covers are the same. The only real difference is the adapter plate in the center. So, because I have a spare cover from the kit that I ordered that didn't fit, I'm going to take this into a shop. I'm going to see if I can try and compare it to an Acerbis replacement cover. And if the bolt holes are in the same location, I'm going to buy a red cover for the 250R, and then I'll just put that on the knockoff bracket that I have on the bike. It's super easy just to swap over. So then I'll have a knockoff bracket, but a genuine Acerbis cover, which is the closest thing that you can get to an actual Acerbis front disc cover kit for the 250L. Now, is there actually a difference in the cover? Probably not. It's just plastic, just the same. But for continuity, I have a bunch of other Acerbis parts on the bike. It'd be nice just to have all Acerbis. Again, I'm being pedantic, but like I said before in other videos, I'm OCD. This bike's my baby, and I love tinkering with it. So to me, it's worth the whatever it is, 60 bucks to have a genuine Acerbis cover. Thanks for watching, guys. Look, hopefully if you have a 250L or a similar bike that you can't get a legit Acerbis or similar brand kit for, it's given you the confidence to give one of the cheap sort of AliExpress Chinese knockoff ones a go. Now, if you didn't have access to an aluminium welder, the best thing I would suggest is go to an engineering shop, even a panel shop. Most of them will have an aluminium welder, and for probably, I don't know, a case of beers or something, they'd be willing just to quickly tack weld that for you. It's legitimately a 10-minute job if the welder knows what they're doing. I think it's a cool, worthwhile upgrade, for the money. It was pretty cheap, and it's definitely going to have some benefit, I think, and it definitely looks great too. So there's that. If you enjoyed this video or some of my other videos and you want to see some more stuff like this, I'd really appreciate a sub. It helps me out. It keeps me motivated to keep making these videos. And I'm really close to being able to monetize the channel as well, which means that I can, buy more toys and more stuff to keep making more videos. So I really appreciate it if you could hit that sub for me. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer any of them in the comments.